All right, all right, all right. Here we go. Good morning, good morning, good morning. Hello, everyone out there on Facebook and YouTube. It is such a great honor and privilege to be with you today. I believe we're also going to be on LinkedIn. So, whoop, whoop. We are here with two amazing women this morning. And first of all, before I even get into that, you're probably like, who are you? So those that know me, hey, I'm Melissa Tools. I am a licensed mental health professional. So ultimately, that means I'm a therapist or a counselor, as some may call it. And I am just honored to be able to connect with individuals, from all over, and I'm so happy and so thankful that I get to talk with other women and other people, really, across the world that are doing great things and are a part of great things. And so today we are having ladies talk. This is our happy hour. Okay, 2 snaps. Yes, indeed. Because we know there is a lot going on in this time, at this season. No offense, men. We know you have some stuff going on too. But we're going to talk to the ladies this month, okay? Earlier or last month, we had Real Talk Men Talk, and we had PJ and Coach Johnny on. And I'll probably throw that up later on today as well so that you can view the information that we shared. But today we have two dynamite women that I am so privileged to know. I have Miss Lisa Elliott. Hey.
Hello.
And I have Miss Raquel Bonilla. Hey. Good morning. Good morning. How we doing, ladies?
Wonderful.
Great.
Wonderful.
Yes. Look, on this Saturday. Yes. Happy Thanksgiving, pre-Thanksgiving. So I have some friends that get on me all the time because I skip Thanksgiving. I go right to Christmas. The countdown began.
I totally think you can eat a piece of pumpkin pie right next to a Christmas tree with no problems. No problems.
Absolutely.
See, that's what I'm talking about. I love it. Nobody wants to hear me, but I'm all for it.
I support you, girl. Absolutely.
So, but today, ultimately, I just wanted to talk out there with all of our women. And again, and you can listen to, or you can share this with your spouse, your sister, your mom, your aunties, your cousins, your whoever, because we know that there's a lot going on at this time of the year. And there's also so much that we put on us sometimes, as women, and we'll talk about this as we get into our discussion. We put on that red cape. And that red cape is all the things that we try to do and to be to all people. And then sometimes that cape just never seems to want to let go. So we're going to talk about that. And especially because these lovely women are both educators, they're in the education field. And, there's just so many. So first, let me introduce them officially, and we will get into it. So I have Miss Lisa Elliott, as I mentioned, and she's an educator, she's a wife, she's a mom, and she is a U.S. Army veteran. Hey,
Yeah.
belated Veterans
Army.
Day.
Always beat Navy.
Look, I was former Air Force spouse, so I ain't gonna
We'll
go
take
there.
Air Force. We'll take Air Force with us. We'll take them.
Okay, all right. I have some Army friends. They were like, "Yep, you know better." So, but she has two amazing daughters, aged 22 and 15, and truly supportive husband. She currently has 2 master's degrees in the areas of middle grade education and American history.
Right.
And she's currently working on her 3rd master's degree in the area of educational leadership in the hopes of pursuing a career in school administration. Some things that she enjoys doing in her free time, whatever that may be, is running, skydiving, scuba diving, playing around Disney, and currently training for an Ironman. Hey.
In all my free time.
Yeah, like I said, whatever that is. And you also have Miss Raquel,
Yeah.
and she is also a dedicated wife, a loving mom, and a passionate teacher with an instabil an in ugh, I can't even get it out, get my words. She is a thirst for knowledge.
Yeah.
With a heart full of generosity, she is committed to sharing the wisdom she's acquired with others. Alongside her husband, she is a co owner of Jabo Fitness, a thriving fitness center. Jabo! Hey, yeah, coach got me this week, but we ain't gonna talk about that. No, I'm still hurt. I'm still hurt.
Need to talk to him, huh?
I know all the time. Whew. But it is a thriving fitness center established over 11 years ago. And
Nice.
her role in the business leverages her bachelor's degree in marketing, where she focuses on marketing strategies and providing valuable resources to support their clients in their health and fitness journey. So, I again am so thankful, ladies, that you guys said yes to coming on this live today. And we're just going to have a convo, you know, because there's, again, so many out there who sometimes feel like it's just me, or they're feeling really tired, feeling stressed, feeling worn out, or just don't even know which right, left, up, down, you know,
Mhm.
what's really going on. And especially with the holiday season, you know, it can be even more pressure to try to just, again, keep that cape on that for some reason we keep putting on. So
Right.
I want to start with you, Lisa. You know, as an educator, as a mom, all the things,
Mhm.
how do you just simply be Lisa? What Tell us about who is Lisa and where you are right now in your journey.
Well, first of all, I want to applaud you for putting this platform together. Women need to hear that women struggle and we can overcome and we can do all the things, but not do all the things. And sometimes we do them really well, and sometimes we don't. And we have to try again. So I want to
Mhm.
give you a complete round of applause for
Well,
that, because
Hey, I
it's
take it.
awesome. Um, Wow, I'm a lot of things. But I think who I am right now in my journey in life is a person who is I'm still trying to find who I am.
Mm.
I'm turning 43 in January,
Woo,
and
woo.
whoop, whoop, I love it. I love an age. Just means we're gracefully still
Maturing.
making it, baby.
Yes.
But I feel like I think there's always these expectations that we're supposed to know who we are and what are our identifying factors and what does it, are we meeting them? And sometimes it's okay to not know.
Hmm.
This is my 13th year as a middle school teacher. I love
Mm.
teaching. I um, am incredibly thankful for my students and my school. But I also I'm trying to figure out who I am right now. And
Hmm.
some of the outlets that I use to try to navigate those have nothing to do with teaching. I love running. I currently am working on my skydiving license. I just got my scuba diving license. And just trying to see what that next thing is for me, is kind of the journey I'm on right now. And, some days it's, rainbows and sunshine and all things Disney. And sometimes it's how many more cups of coffee can I have? So, yeah.
I hear you, and I am not a true coffee drinker. And after this 6 week challenge we just finished, I tried to drink some the other day with my usual creamer, and I'm like, oh my gosh, this is too sweet. I can't even do it.
I have a great creamer for you. I'll tell you later.
Yes.
No, none of the sugar. No sugar.
Okay,
Well,
good.
a little sugar
A
because
little.
don't do any of the other stuff.
Look, you know that commercial that says, "Don't wake Daddy, don't wake Johnny, don't tell him." Coach, don't listen to this.
if he's somewhere in the house, he may be
I know.
listening.
She's gonna be like, "What?
La, la, la,
Melissa, you said it backwards." No, no.
la.
But it's yeah, it is all of the things of
Mhm.
where do we fit, and also where do we find that space where we can truly be feeling like we're living on purpose.
Sure.
I think is the key right there. And so for you, Raquel, just share with us where are you on your journey and this journey called life, and how do you currently, manage all the things?
Yeah, so it's funny because listening to Lisa, um, it there's so many similarities, and I know that so many of us think that we're going through things alone, and
Mm-hmm.
then when you hear other people talk, you realize how much you have in common, right? So I'm actually turning 43 in a few days. Hun-
Woo!
So I know I get my birthday and Thanksgiving in 1 week. That's dangerous. That's
I say that's winning at life.
But I've been teaching. So I taught for 6 years and then I stopped so I can raise my kiddos. So I stayed at home and that's when I went full in on helping Coach Johnny with the business. That's when I started. I took everything that I learned throughout my marketing career before, the gym
Hmm.
and everything, and I applied it to there. I just went full in on owning co-owning the business, helping with that. And then most recently, I missed teaching. So I went back. This is my second year back
Nice.
after
Mm.
a little hiatus, but I did miss teaching.
Mhm.
So like Lisa, I am also trying to figure out where what's next for me,
Mhm.
right? Because at certain points in our lives, we do like I feel that society is always trying to push like you're supposed to be like this. You're supposed see that Pinterest mom, that's how your house is supposed to look. That's how you're supposed to
Mhm.
be. Like everything is like they're trying to tell us what we're supposed to be. And
Mhm.
then that puts so much pressure on us
Mhm.
and that's not realistic because
Yeah.
that's really how life is, right? Life is not according to what society or what culture tells
Right.
us. Life
Right.
is what we make is what makes us happy, what our God-given purpose is.
Yeah.
That's within us, that's within our family. So right now, I'm just focused on um, being there to be. I see my family as my first ministry, right?
Yeah.
So right now, I just want to see what I'm supposed to be doing for my family. What am I going to do to take my family to that next level? It's not
Mhm.
just about me. I have a teenager that's
Mhm.
watching. I have little kids that are watching us. So
Mhm.
how can I be the best example to them at this time in our life? So that's where I'm at right now.
Oh my goodness.
And it's interesting that Raquel says that because, like she said with me, I see the same thing, the mirroring of it, and I'm kind of on the other side of that. Is I just had my oldest graduate from college, and
Wow.
I have my second daughter. She's turning 16, so she's going to Cancun tomorrow with her friend for the week of Thanksgiving, and I think now I'm trying to navigate this world of who am I without them. They still need me, but who
Right.
am I as not the mom that I've been for the last 20, almost 3 years, right?
Yeah.
Because when you have littles and let's go get ice cream and let's do this, and we're watching movies and cuddle time and all the things. And now my kids are like, and I'm trying to fill in the spaces of, well, who am I? So it's just, but both having those similar experiences of trying to figure out how to navigate it. And I think that that's
Mhm.
the key is knowing that we are navigating but we're still trying to figure it out as we go, even though we're at different spots of the mom and wife and woman journey. So I think I'm
Mhm.
glad you said that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just again listening to you both. It's like now I'm on this similar journey, and I feel like around this time of year, that's really sometimes we all get into that mindset of who am I? What am I doing? Where am I going?
Mhm.
you know, when you're approaching another year, those are the thoughts that come up. Another year when it's birthday, another year just in itself.
Right.
Um, I'll be I'm not up there yet. I'm still the baby, I guess, of the crew, but I'll join
Love it.
the 40 club next year.
Me too.
It's a good club. It's a real
Yeah.
good club.
I'm booked. I hear being 40 is something else, so I'm ready.
Oh yeah,
Okay.
girl.
You're ready for it.
So, but my birthday is coming up in Christmas, so it's like,
Yeah.
okay, here we go, another year, another actual year coming up, 2024. What
Yeah.
do I want to do? Where am I going to be? Um,
Right.
what are the things that I enjoy doing? I am a couple years out now of being divorced of over 10 years, or yeah, 10 years of marriage.
Right.
But I have a little one. So I'm like, I'm starting,
Yeah.
with that, as well as, being a caretaker. I'm blessed to have my siblings to help me, in that regard too, as we take care of our mom, and they also help me with their niece. But it's like, okay, now Melissa, what are you doing? Where are you going?
Oh, your sound went off.
And I think that that's kind of an important thing too, is when we're I think new parents, and we have the idea of, I'm going to nurture this soul and I'm going to take care of this baby, and our whole kind
Yeah.
of identity, I think, switches to being a mom. I was a very
Yep.
young mom, and trying to navigate what is looking like a brand new mom, which is different than raising a teenager like Raquel or me, who I have grown
Yes.
children now, and I think we all try to navigate it in that way. But yeah,
Hmm.
I hear what you're saying.
Yeah. So we had a comment that says, just trying to find your new identity after children are grown.
Oh,
Ah,
and
because
right now
it's
I'm calling myself Princess Lisa, so that's where
yes,
I'm heading.
and she does. So,
I do.
but I know I did their intro. So I am also a school counselor,
Mhm.
at a middle school, well, pre-K through middle school setting.
Yeah.
And
Mm.
so I've been in school counseling for over 10 years as well. Licensed therapist for over going on 8 years. And so I do have a private practice part time while working full time. And,
Mhm.
Lisa and I were talking, we're both in school full time. And
Mhm.
again, all the hats, right? How do we balance all the hats? And sometimes, honestly, just take the hat off. Take it off, put them in a closet,
Yeah.
and let them stay there for a minute,
Yeah.
Right.
because if not, you're going to look like the Mad Hatter with all the different things.
I love a Disney reference.
I know.
Yes.
Look, when you meet Lisa, you will know that she loves Disney. Okay. It is all over. Okay.
Oh,
You
just
know,
a
I
little.
was just listening to a podcast by Mel Robbins, and she was saying in there that sometimes you're driving on a highway, and sometimes it's okay to just take your car and pull over. Like,
Mm.
pull over. It's you
Mhm.
don't have to keep going with the
Mhm.
rush, with the traffic. If you need to pull over, it's okay. And then restart and then reconfigure, take your GPS, reconfigure your map, and then go from there. But it's
Right.
okay to
Yes.
pull over. So that's what that
Yeah.
reminds me of.
I
Yeah.
love that. Well, that also, so that goes into what I've been calling, taking a mommy pit stop. And
Mm.
so, mommy pit stops with my clients are just reminders that you do need to take that break. You do need to come in. So, NASCAR and all the fast, cars, I don't care for any of them, but people like to watch them go round and round in circles. Go for it, whatever you love. But
Right. Right.
what I have learned, which ironically was from watching Cars with my daughter for the however many time, right? And Disney, if you're listening, you need to sponsor
I
this
know.
podcast. I'm just saying, I may not agree with everything, but I'll take some money, okay? I'm just saying. Or free passes. I don't know, something.
Deal.
We'll make a deal. We'll make a deal.
That's right. That's right.
Um, but we were watching Cars, and of course, Lightning McQueen decides that he didn't want to go in for his pit stop. And what
Mhm.
ended up happening? He blew tires.
Yeah.
There was a crash. And just like even in the real life or real world of that racing community, if they don't come in for that pit stop, they don't change those tires, don't get enough gas, they can ultimately cause a crash and accident, or even unfortunately worse, meet tragic or tragedies on the racetrack.
Right.
And so I started to do a little bit more research on that. And which is why I'm really truly thankful for building a community and starting this community of real
Mhm.
talk,
Mhm.
because each person in the pit crew has a specific responsibility
Yes.
to help that car get back on the track as soon as possible.
Sure.
But they all have their specific and strategic areas to work on. And so sometimes as moms, or even just again as women, we don't take the time to take ourselves into that pit stop and work on strategic areas and
Right.
specific areas. You know, it might be the right tire. The right tire might represent finances. It may be the left tire. That may represent,
Right.
you know, your family. Not that I'm calling families tires, but y'all get my point.
We know,
I am
we
that
know.
analogy person. I'll have a better one for us next time. But
No, that was good. That was good. I totally got it. I'm good. I'm with you.
this is what happens when you get educators together. We
Yeah.
come up with wildest things, right?
That's right. We got to
But
reach everybody.
yes, but you have to work on those specific areas,
Yeah.
because all those areas is what makes the car then go back. And as coach even talks about being at your optimal potential to
Sure.
then be able to, you know, work and move and thrive. So mommy pit stops are what I encourage my clients to take at least once a month. And whatever that may be for you, whatever that may look like for you, you
Mhm.
know, go for it. It may be just a day of doing absolutely no chores.
Sure.
Let's be real. I mean, I'm looking at some clothes right now next to me, and it's annoying, but guess what? It's gonna stay there till probably tomorrow.
Right. Right. Right.
You know, it may be that, and some people say, well, I can't afford to go somewhere. I can't afford to be away. That's okay. There's a
Mhm.
park, I'm sure, somewhere near you. Go
Right.
sit at the park. If there is, you know, your happy place is the beach, and you may not have the crystal clear water. That's fine. You just need to hear the waves. Go sit on the
And
bench
there's
and listen
there's
to it.
probably a YouTube channel for that. You can just put it on in the background, you know?
Right.
Mhm. Absolutely. So
Do you
even
find
mhm,
Oh, go ahead, Melissa. I was gonna say, do you find though that when because I totally believe in those moments of clarity where you can kind of put do you find it difficult though that when you have those moments, you still have that little bit of buzzing of I've been trying to work really hard on saying no and no as in no I don't want to help but no I can't full-fledged complete this project for you on my own, and I still always have that um well maybe I can, like I almost can talk myself back into it,
Right.
because I think it's so ingrained in us, like Raquel touched on earlier, is this is the expectation of a woman is to all the things, you know is it you think it's just maybe the practice of setting that time that will kind of lessen that little buzzing that goes on? Or do you think that that's just an innate response that we have of
mhm,
I have to still conquer everything and do everything really well and take care of all, do you know what I'm
mhm,
asking?
mhm, yeah. It reminds me of the song, I'm every woman, it's all in me. And then it's like, oh wait, I'm not everything.
Yeah.
Right.
Because
And
I'm
it's
about to fall apart.
exhausting. It's
Yes.
exhausting. Yes.
It is.
Yes. Mhm.
Yeah, it is. And even Chantal, hey girl, hey, she made a comment. It's like a social stigma that women have to hold it all, or
Right.
Mhm.
have to, you
Mhm.
know, keep it all together. And
Absolutely.
I think it has been ingrained in us, right? If you think
Right.
about, so we talked about in the Real Talk, men, and from little boys, they have been taught you don't cry, you
Mm,
don't show emotions, you
mhm.
don't talk about feelings, you don't
Right.
do any of that. You just toughen up and keep it moving.
Right.
Whereas for girls, it's sit a certain way, look a certain way,
Mhm.
speak a
Mhm.
certain way.
Mhm.
You need to be in the kitchen because you have to learn how to cook and you have to take care of your family. You need to know how to fold the clothes because you need to be able
Right.
to wash them and not make, you know, them look like the circus because all the colors ran together. You know, you
Right.
need to, you know, how to take care of your home.
Right.
And that, even though yes, I believe we have moved in different directions across the board for women to be in spaces that they normally would not be in.
Mhm.
There is still that look,
Mhm. The
Mhm.
you know,
expectation that we still do all those things, plus work,
and yes,
and are educated, and
yes,
can run, all the things, right? And it is interesting that you say that, because I almost have found, Raquel and I, are both in middle school as educators, so we have that
mhm,
age bracket where I think we are trying to move the idea away from boys aren't allowed to show emotion, and
mhm,
it's okay, please express your opinion, or your emotions about things. But I feel like for women it's still all those things you mentioned, but here's your laundry list of other things in order to be successful at this life. It's,
mhm,
yes, you need to raise the kids, but also you need to have this career, and
Right.
trying to make sure that we don't lose who we are in the midst of it,
mhm,
and
absolutely.
jump out of
Yeah.
planes to figure that out as you go.
And then let's not add the pressure of you also have to, your body has to look a certain way too. And, like you have to be kept up, like, so appearance, like everything, all of the pressures of
Mhm,
the career, of the home, of the relationships, of your body, the way you look. It's like
Mhm.
everything is just piled.
mhm.
All of it.
And Raquel, I'm glad you said that. So, share with us a little bit on the importance, though, of keeping up with the health and wellness, because I feel like that, I know I can speak for me, I won't speak for everyone out there.
Mhm.
That was one of the areas that I did let, just whatever, it is what it is. um,
It's not the
because
priority.
it wasn't a priority. It
Right.
wasn't a priority. And, I went from, being a student athlete pretty much. Well, I'm Jamaican for those that don't know. So we run everywhere. No, we really do. Y'all don't crucify me out there. No judgment here. But growing up in the islands, and we did sports days, and we did fitness all the time. Like, it was just it's part of us.
Right.
We love it. Sports is part of our culture. And then even moving to the States, did tennis for years, and then I did dance for years. And I mean, I was always into health and wellness and fitness in some capacity. And then as I got into adulthood and marriage and children and all of that, I didn't have time
Mm.
to take care of myself in that area. But okay, I might go to the gym here and there. I might walk here and there.
Right.
I was a Zumba instructor for a minute because I was going to get back into things. But again, time was not there.
Sure.
But it's not so much the time, is like you said, Lisa, that it wasn't a priority.
Mhm.
It was a priority here, but it wasn't a priority actually in life at that
Mhm.
moment with everything going on,
Right.
until it got to a point where I'm looking at a report and my body is saying you're like 50. Okay. No offense to my 50-year-olds. Y'all are amazing. But when you're 20 something and your body is saying that you're 50 something, there's
Right.
a disconnect.
Sure.
And ultimately, again, being in the space where I am now, as a single parent and an energetic child, I
Yeah.
need to be able to keep up. I'm going up the stairs and I'm like, oh, wait a minute, give me a minute. Oh, okay, now we can play.
Right. Sure.
you know Reality kind of set in, like,
Mhm.
she's going to be doing a lot more of this and you can't keep up. You need
Right.
to do something different. So, it had to be at the top of the list. And so, Raquel, talk to us a little bit about the health and wellness side and the importance of that, just even again, as individuals, but also for being a part of your family and how that can help your family.
Yeah, so when it comes to health, I mean, a lot
Right.
of people, everyone looks at it differently, but culture says it's either you have to look a certain way. So like they've already put like these pair of lenses on us where when they think health and fitness, they think this is what you're supposed to look like. But that's really not what health and wellness really is. It's about, like you said, you went and you went to the doctor and there are certain
Mhm.
scans that told you something differently. That's true health. It's how you feel, how you're treating your body, and it makes a huge difference as to how people don't realize the benefit of moving, right? A lot of people allow everything else, career, the family, the responsibilities, everyday life, they allow that to take over. And then, like you said, the fitness, moving is all pushed to the side or to the bottom of the list. Where in reality, that needs to be in there. That needs to be a priority because that does help our body continue moving properly. It does allow for better body scans when we go to the doctor. It allows for longevity in your life because honestly, if you're not moving, if you're not taking care of what you're putting into your body, right? And we're not saying to be perfect because we're not perfect. Doesn't What putting into your body doesn't mean you have to eat like grilled chicken and broccoli every single day. That's not what it means. I mean, maybe for Johnny, but not,
Yeah.
realistically, right? It's
Not
about
the rest of us.
it's that 80-20 thing, right?
Sure.
So you can enjoy your stuff, but are 80% of the time, are you really being aware of what you're putting inside of your body, right? Are you really trying to figure out better ways on cooking your favorite type of things? So it's all about just that balance and the awareness, right? And then moving every day. You have to move because a lot of us were sitting behind a computer for some of our jobs. We're not really walking, and our body needs that. If not, our body starts to stiffen up, our muscles become weak, our bones become, especially, women. I know a lot of women have things that go with their bones, and as they get older, we need to move. If we move more, our body lasts longer,
Right.
because then we think, a lot of us think of it backwards, that if we start exercising, I'm going to get hurt. I'm getting older, but that's not, it's really backwards. What we need to do is move so our body can last longer because yes, maybe that first week you may be a little achy and there may be some pain or, not pain like that, but, your body's getting adjusted. With that, you're going to realize that a lot of those chronic pains that you have, the knee pain, the lower back, the neck, all of that stuff, that's going to start going away as you become more active and as you become, ready for the keyword, more consistent with it, right? That all is going to go away, and you're going to notice the difference when you move, when you eat better, and when you start becoming more aware. You're going to start noticing your energy levels going up. You're going to have that energy to keep up with your family, to keep up with your job. That the movement, if you are on a career path to get promoted and get higher, the top CEOs and top executives, they make exercise and movement one of their priorities. Every morning they move somehow because that gets their mind running and that gets their energy up, that gets their confidence levels up because that helps our confidence, ladies. So our confidence goes up, our energy, our thought process, everything just gets escalated, moves to a new level so you can approach your day. So if you do take that time, and it doesn't have to be this big, oh yeah, I lifted this much and it's just movement. It's just some type of movement that you enjoy. You do that and you'll realize a difference in your day almost immediately. So,
Raquel, don't you think you are the fitness guru and I love this. It just makes my soul happy to talk to you. But don't you even think, like, sometimes I feel like the working out for me, sometimes I jokingly say I have to run the crazy out. You know what I mean? Like, it almost helps me, like if I'm running, the brain is always like this. And if I don't run, it almost goes faster than if not. And when you mention the confidence part, I just think when you meet those small milestones, I'm a runner. I love running, but I'm trying for an Ironman, and the bike is not my friend. And forgive me for being so crude, but I just don't think anything should be between my legs for that amount of time. So the bike and I have had some growing pains, but when I hit 30 miles, I was like, touch me. here I am. And then I hit 40 miles and I was like, watch me go. Like that confidence of conquering my own interpersonal goals,
Mhm,
right?
mhm.
I'm not doing it for anybody else. I'm not going to win the Ironman. I'm not going to Kona unless it's on vacation. But, just that idea, I mean, it does build that confidence. And I think we need that to kind of work all the other things that are going on in our lives, right? Like, because sometimes we are doing it for ourselves as opposed to, you know, everybody else, which we tend to do for everybody else, right?
Right. Yeah, that's so true because when you start becoming active, there
Mhm.
are goals that you can start setting for yourself. So you've set this goal to complete this Ironman.
Right.
So this is not, you love running,
Mhm.
right? And that's an escape for you. It's there. It
Mhm.
can be therapeutic
Yeah.
for you. It can be, and that's a big benefit. Like when you
Mhm.
find something that you love, it doesn't have to be running, right? It doesn't have to be that, but
Right.
that does help you. But now you've set another level for yourself. And that is
Right.
so healthy because now it goes beyond just the I want to lose weight or the I want,
Right.
now it becomes a goal that you set for yourself, a healthy goal. And
Right.
it does something to us inside. For
Mhm.
example, I set a goal to be in a kettlebell competition. And then I started
Cool.
working with, so now it did something inside of me that now it's not about this distant goal of, oh, I
Right.
want to look like this person, or no, because that can be unhealthy. Now
Right.
it's my own. I made it up.
Mhm.
It came from my mind.
That's
Now
right.
this is something I want to do for myself.
That's
And
right.
it's such a different type of goal. It's such a different
Yeah.
type of challenge. And as you start breaking through those baby goals until you get to the
Mhm.
big one, it
Mhm.
starts building that confidence in you. Like,
Yeah.
oh, I reached this much. Like you said, you did your 20 miles. Nice. I
Mhm.
hit that. Now I'm for 30. Now I'm
Right.
going for this.
Right.
So you're hitting all of these goals along the way. It's like these little, like, what do you call those things when you're swimming that they have those things that are floating that you're like, oh,
The
I just,
buoys, like the buoys, like the
right.
markers. Yeah.
Right. It's like those little markers, the little buoys. Yes, you have an end goal, but you have these little buoys, and that boosts that confidence along the
Yes.
way to help you make it to the end goal.
Right. I always have found that, I have a bunch of friends that are getting into running or are running, and I've been running a long time. So I've run marathons and the ultra marathons, and I don't ever, when they come to me and say, "Oh my gosh, I can never do a marathon. I'm just doing the 5K." That is a big deal. Like
That's
it
not
is,
a
there's
just.
no just in any
Mhm.
amount of it. It is the
Right.
goal you set for your individual self. And I find that when you have those kind of goals, because look, like you said, in this world, ladies, we all have this expectation. Men can look however the hey diddle they want and nobody seems to care. But we have to have this expectation. But when you have goals that I think are not necessarily the weight goals, I mean, those kind of come with it, right? Like I've seen Melissa, and in Ironman training, I'm sorry, she's going to the gym every time I see her, I'm like, oh my gosh, but she has goals not necessarily to lose weight, but to work on the energy to keep up with her kid. Like having these external goals for yourself as opposed to oh, I have to lose weight. I mean, if that's what gets you in there to think about it, that's fine. But then what are those other nuanced goals that you can kind of connect with? Because eventually you'll hit that weight. But then
Right.
what? What keeps you in the game of it, right?
Right. And it's so true because that whole, like, being with the gym, right?
Mhm.
We've seen so many people come in, well, I want to lose weight because I have a cruise or I have
Sure.
a event that's going on. That's great. Like, I
Mhm.
love that because you have a goal,
Get
but
in there.
it
Mhm.
needs to be beyond that because
Yeah.
if you really want to make this a lifestyle, it needs to be beyond that. I have to lose weight in a few weeks type thing. And
Right.
and like you said, when you create these other external goals, it takes the pressure because realistically speaking, a lot of us go up and down in this weight loss journey.
Sure.
Like we lose
Mhm.
the weight. Now we see the scale go up, and now we're
And now
frustrated.
I'm fluffy.
Up. Like this is not for me. That's it. No more. I'm just going to eat everything. Or like, then you go, or it's like this whole thing of I have to stop eating altogether. Oh, and then my
Right.
friends invite me to go out. I can't, I'll have a salad as I stare at you eat your fry. It's
Right.
like, it's a front.
Melissa, are we telling on you? What's that
Look,
face?
look. I just got off that challenge. Let me tell you.
Yeah. And it's frustrating, but why
Mhm.
can't we create these external goals that
Right.
we're still getting there?
Mhm.
We're relieving some of the pressure because it shouldn't be I have to be at
Right.
this goal by this time. It
Right.
should be I just want to get healthier. I
Yeah.
want to learn how my body works. I
Oh,
want to
yes.
make it fun, right? And I want to still be able to enjoy fries every now and then.
Yes.
I say fries because
Always with the fries. I
I
full
won't tell her.
support the fries.
I won't tell
I'm
Coach. I promise.
He's out there, la la la
He's
la
like,
la.
what? No, she didn't say that. She'll get, we're
like,
drinking our water, Coach.
all right, I have my water. But it's all about, like I said before, it's the balance, it's the awareness, it's
Right.
that 80/20. You do have to be good to your body. Yes. If you want to see changes, absolutely, you still have to
Right.
move. Yes, you have to drink your water. Yes, you have to sleep, right? Yes, you have to move. You have to exercise in some way, whether it's just walking. I had a client once, an online client, that she lost 50 pounds in 4 months just by walking
Sure.
and by being aware of what to eat. She still had her rice and beans, but she was being aware, right? And it was just by moving, and talking about I wanted to go back to what you said real quick about that 5K, the just 5K. In
Right.
our gym, there's people that come in that can't even run,
Right.
right? Or can't even run
Right.
like from here to like just to the
Right.
next storefront, right? So, and then a, a few months later, they've met their big goal of jogging without stopping for one
Yes.
meal. And that is huge.
Exactly.
So big to see someone from just not being able to jog or walk down
Yes.
down the road to jogging a mile.
Right.
That's not a just. That's a big deal for that person. And that's
Absolutely.
what health is. It's individual. It's not me comparing against that person. It's me getting better than me yesterday.
Yes.
That's what
Mm.
Right. And I love that you're saying that because people, I think they don't understand. Well, I think the more we talk about it, the more people do wrap their brains around it that there is no just in anything. Sometimes just to get out of the bed in the morning is a
Mhm.
just
yeah.
moment that we all need to, and I think that everything should be celebrated because everything is victorious in its own way
Yep.
in that moment in time, because we're all at these different levels and different journeys, and I applaud you for saying that because I think that needs to be said more often because we are all on a different journey for sure.
Right.
Mhm. I'm gonna have to replay that and take that quote because you said it and it hit my spirit.
Yeah.
Where ultimately we can't compare ourselves.
Mhm.
And as women, we do that sometimes
Mhm.
even without even thinking, right?
Right.
Right.
Sure.
We may go into a store with the mindset of getting something in particular, and we see someone walking by with the same outfit, and instantly it's like, am I going to look like that? Am I going to,
Right.
does it, well, maybe I
Right.
should get that. Maybe that doesn't look, or maybe I'm going to look better than that. So I'm going to get two of them. Like it's, it's almost just instant. And I even watch it in my daughter because
Mm.
she's already saying certain things or was
Mhm.
saying certain things like, Mommy, I want my hair straight, or I want
Mm.
my hair curly like this, or I
Right.
want my hair to look like such and such, or can I get the shoes? And I'm like, well, why you want those shoes? Well, because such and such was wearing those shoes,
Mhm.
you
Mhm.
know? And so it's no one said you have to wear this. No one
Right.
says your hair should be that, it's already a part of our nature, just even as humans,
Right.
that we compare
Sure.
ourselves. And then where that danger zone comes in is when we continue to compare ourselves. And
Right.
it's, oh, I'm not moving as fast as such and such, or I'm not doing as much as such and such. Going back to that word no. Why is it that we
Mhm.
don't say no? Is it because, you know, we got to get to the root cause of that part, because there is a root.
There's
Yes.
got to be a root. Well, how long is this show?
Look, we almost, and it's so crazy. We're already almost 45 minutes in. This is insane. We're
I
going
love
to do
it.
this again.
It's so
Yeah.
funny. As a math teacher, you said root, and my head went to square root and cube.
Again, see what happens when you get educated together. But there's so much there. But, you know, kind of along that lines, as we do go into our final, you know, 15 minutes or so, from
Yeah.
both of you, and because you also both have daughters,
Mhm.
how do you, or let me phrase it this way: what do you hope to instill in your daughters or in your children, so that as they move forward, they can be their ultimate best? Because I think as parents, that's another thing that comes to our mind. Like, am I raising good humans?
Right.
Yep.
I actually, if you don't mind, I'll jump right in here. So I have a 22-year-old who graduated last year with her bachelor's, and she is in the world of speech pathology, and she currently works with. She has several students who are autistic, and she's working with their speech and behavior patterns. And you know, she has her first adult apartment, and she's, you know, she has a cat that has vet bills and all, you know, utilities, all the things. And I will say that somehow, even with me as her mother, she is probably the most mature person that I know, hands down. And she called this week and was in a tizzy because she works Monday through Friday at this behavior place where her career is starting. And then on the weekends, she works at a coffee shop. Excuse me. And she called me and she was like, I hate adulting. I'm an inferior adult. First of all, what child says I'm an inferior adult? What, like, come on, right? And I just said to her, I said, you know, first of all, you got to come, because she also, for some reason, inherited the yes to everything gene. She, and we talk about it constantly. Please, you know, as you're younger and you're developing yourself and your self worth, it's okay to say no. And she said the most poignant thing to me. She said, you know, when people say no to me, I'm okay with it. Like if I say, hey, can you go to the store and get, you know, a loaf of bread? And they're like, no. She's like, okay. But when she says no to someone, she says she almost has like an innate physical of feeling like sucked back in, like, and I feel the same way because I do it often. I play the game of no, well, maybe, well, okay, well, here, I'll just, yes, I'll do it, like, you know, the game. And so trying to instill in her and my 15-year-old daughter, now my 15-year-old daughter is better at saying no, and not always how I need her to say no. Like, no, I don't want to do the dishes. No, 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 no. Wrong. That's wrong. But you know, it is trying to work that out. And really just, it's, you know, talking, it's like talking to your kids about drugs. You just keep doing it. You keep talking to them. Eventually it's going to sink in, because, you know, it has to, because the struggle is real on the adult side of it, right? So just, I think, kind of having that conversation, and constantly and more and in depth and through tears, through laughs and all of it, you just constantly are having that conversation that she's enough, whether she says yes to something or no, and she is definitely not an inferior adult at all.
I love that. And to just branch off of that, like the whole conversations, I think what I've learned, because I have my 16-year-old, that's my oldest, but now I have the two younger ones. I have one that's 9 and I have one that's 6, right? So then I have those, yes, it's a big whatever. So so I have that, but I've learned a lot from my parenting and my oldest, right?
Sure.
And I learned I was a lot less confident while raising her as a person, as a woman. And I feel like that went on to her. And I see how it's affected her. So now, knowing what I know now, I try to talk to her a lot, or I think even so, the talking is going to be an important thing to keep that communication open. That's what I try to do with my younger ones now. But also not just the talking, but living out that example,
Mm-hmm.
leading by being an example. Because honestly, you can say a lot of things, but if you're living differently, or if they see that you're not confident, if they see that you're not moving, if they see that you're not making certain choices, they're going to replicate
You're
those
right.
choices that you're doing. So
You're right.
that's another reason why it's so important to be aware of what you do, what you say,
Mhm.
because there are always, whether they're teenagers, whether they're little, there are always eyes watching you. And my
Mhm.
teenager makes it a point to say, like, well, why do I have to do it? You're not doing it. Like, so
Mhm.
that, even though I get mad at her when she does it, it really brings me back to being
Sure.
aware of what I'm doing, and it helps me become better,
Right.
for her, for the little ones, for myself, so I just think leading by example is a big thing too.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
I'm playing toggle with my microphone over here. So this is why. So I'm gonna put her on blast, but I'm putting myself on blast. I have another good friend who's on here, and she's like the tech guru. So I keep telling her when I do one of these things, I need her. But I was trying to be every woman and try to do this myself.
Uh,
So I'm telling her myself, Chantal, I need you, sis. I need you. She gets me all the time. She's like, but why did you not just never mind? But I so I agree with what you ladies have shared, because in talking with a few clients even over the years, sometimes those who are moms and dads too, I'll put you guys in the mix.
Mhm.
The concern is always, am I doing the right thing? Am I
mhm.
saying the right thing? Am I teaching them the right thing?
Mhm.
Some may have behavioral challenges as they get older, or they may have special needs, and then there's so
Mhm.
much that you're pouring out, and you're like, am I really helping them so that when they become an adult, they
Right.
can be that independent individual despite whatever the challenges may be. And so as parents, the pressure, because then let's also be realistic and be honest, if something is going on with little Johnny, little Susie, little Pepito, as I like to throw in there from time to time. I had a coworker. Every time we had a scenario, it was little Pepito. I'm like, Pepito is always in trouble. What is wrong with Pepito? So now I use him too.
Yes. Perfect.
I mean, with any of our children, if something's going on with them and you get that phone call, you're like, oh my gosh, this is
Mhm.
a reflection of me.
Yeah.
Something's wrong with them because of me.
Right.
And sometimes, sorry, parents, yes, that's true.
Right.
Sometimes it is you.
Sure.
No,
Sure.
you're
Sometimes it's depending on the age where they are, depending on what's the influence at the time,
right.
especially as we're all in the middle school. And so those middle schoolers
Mhm.
are something else, because they're trying to find themselves,
Sure.
and they're trying to figure out who they are, and their peers are more important than the adults in their life,
Right.
you know. So that's going to be a whole nother conversation on that one.
Right.
But
Right.
what I would also like us to share, ladies, and as we are wrapping up, and again, thank you all that are watching. Thank you to all that are
Mhm.
watching in the future. I know Saturday mornings is a lot going on. But what would you share with that mom, that educator, that career person that's just trying to figure it out, and they're trying to figure out what is next? What would you say to them? And Raquel, I'm gonna ask you to go first on this round, and then Lisa, you can follow up.
Yeah, so I would say, so to the younger one, right? To the younger woman, if there's anyone in their 20s, be aware of your choices now, because uh, that's going to create habits that are going to affect you later on. Everything that you do now has a compound effect. So if you're listening, I know we have a lot of stories. I just wanted to reach out to the younger crowd just in case, but I know our stories are, we're older, we have our kids and all of that. But if you're there and you're like, I'm not there yet, don't push this to the side, because your decisions now are going to be directly related to how you're feeling later on when you are our age. So I just wanted to throw that out there. But to the mom and or the educator or just a woman that's trying to figure it out, don't put so much pressure on yourself. Stop comparing yourself to the people around you or to social media or anything that you see out there. That's not who you are. You need to look inside of who you are. Don't let them tell you who you are because they don't know you. They didn't create you. They are not they don't have the right to tell you how you feel, how who you are, what you need to do, what you need to look like. They don't have that right. Right? And then I just want to leave you with something that I keep on my phone all the time that I have to read to myself. Let me see. It's something that I put because like I said, they didn't create you. They can't tell you who you are. Me, I'm a woman of faith. I know who created me. So I always read this to myself and I always say, I am a child of God and I am fearfully and wonderfully made. He loves me and cares about every single detail of my life. Before I was ever born, he approved of me. He has a great plan for my life. And that's a mixture of a few verses. But,
Yeah.
I always read that to myself because I have to remember that everything around me doesn't have the right to tell me how I feel that day. But if I go back to this, to my source, I know who does. And I know that I am made with a purpose and I can take all that pressure of everything outside off. So get rid of that pressure. I give you permission to not feel like you have to be like them. So that's
Yeah. Yeah. Yep, absolutely. And I'll just kind of follow up. We have a family motto. And for the person who's trying to figure out who they are, our family motto is make it count. And I just say, keep trying. If one direction isn't going the right way for you, then you try something else. If that's not going, you take a breather and you try it again and you keep trying to make it count. And you just live the life the best you can. As Raquel said, it's your life, not anybody else's life. So you have to do what's best for you and your happiness.
I love that.
Woo! So hopefully we've been able to help you in some way, shape, or form. Hold on. I think my mic went out again. Okay.
No,
Is that
we're
better?
here.
We
We're
hear you.
good.
Oh, okay, good. So ultimately, to everyone that has been with us, thank you again for joining us on this Saturday morning. It is, there's so many things that we can talk about. And that's why this series of It's Time to Talk is so important because we often don't. Or if we are talking, it sounds more like complaining. And so we just stop because we don't want to sound like we're complaining. But we do need to talk. We need to get things out. And we also need to find different outlets: running, jogging, walking, something.
Jumping
So
out of planes.
jumping out, her and my sister. For whatever reason, whatever floats your boat. Being under the boat, being
Under the boat, scuba diving's awesome too.
Find your happy place is
Right.
also what I encourage everyone. Find what makes you just be able to breathe, even if it's just for a day, for 30 minutes, for 10 minutes. Just find something that helps you to come back to feeling like you have a breath that you can take, is really what I want you to do, especially with the holidays.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Because there's so much going on. Hustle, bustle, even with the holidays.
Mm-hmm.
Take a few minutes and breathe. So that's it. And if you need some pointers and tips on how to do that, reach out to me on all my platforms. I'll help you out. Maybe for about 10 minutes. And after that, you got to pay. So
Thank you
with
so
that,
much,
I
Melissa.
thank you all.
Thank
Yeah,
you, Melissa. This was great.
I'm just saying.
I think the sound went out.
You're amazing to know you ladies. We will do this again.
Yes, definitely.
Oh, most definitely. I'm looking forward to it. I think she just oh, okay, there you
There she
All
is.
right.
go. You're back, you're back.